All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Kim Porter was right. Says Diddy put Usher in hospital. Feds confirm details. Now, you know, sometimes these videos may be a stretch, but a lot of times you got to read in between the lines. You know, I feel like with everything coming out, then they were saying Usher had deleted all these tweets or whatever. So, look, man, believe what you want to believe. I'm here to inform myself. Yeah. Again, appreciate all the love and support with you guys coming over. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Do you guys remember when there were allegations going around that Kim Porter had video footage of Diddy and Usher? Then there were reports that Usher was in the hospital courtesy of Diddy. Well, as it turns out, the feds may have found something with regards to this, and this might be one of the things they have on Diddy with receipts.
Stevie J, the Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Well, I'm sure you guys know that there are allegations that have been around for a while saying that Diddy gave Usher an STD. In fact, that is allegedly one of the things that was supposed to come up in the book that Kim Porter was writing, which disappeared just before she died. Allegedly, the book covered in detail how Diddy was into BBCs and...
Man, I wish when people are writing books that they wouldn't say anything about it. I know they have to promote and all. I just wish they wouldn't say nothing. Write the book and then just like release it. Cause man, it's like people catch wind and then it's like the book never hit the shelves.
Slept with different men on multiple occasions, and how Usher's mom confronted Diddy about allegedly being intimate with Usher and giving him an STD after she found out what was going on. Allegedly, while Kim was going through security footage from Uptown Records because she had a feeling Diddy was playing her, she allegedly came across footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell doing you know what. Obviously, Kim did not expect to find footage of Diddy and Andre when she was going through the recordings, but she did, and she kept the footage. Allegedly, based on reports, Kim didn't just get her hands on footage of Diddy and Andre, she also had video footage of Diddy allegedly taking advantage of Usher. But that also disappeared because just before she died, someone broke into her house and only her laptops were stolen. Interesting, right? Still on this STD, there's a time a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe and John Doe, sued Usher, claiming they all had relations with Usher, and they all said he risked their health by not telling them about his alleged herpes diagnosis and were seeking unspecified damages. The woman, who did not identify herself, said that she slept with Usher at least twice, and after contracting herpes from him, her twins were stillborn. Now, allegedly, this is the same STD that Usher had gotten from Diddy. You know, we have been speaking on this Usher and Diddy situation for years now, but maybe this time somebody will actually listen. So how about we start from the beginning? Okay, when Usher was first signed to LaFace Records as a young teen, he was sent to Diddy to be mentored, and at 14 years old, Usher moved to New York to stay with Diddy. And Usher himself said that the things he witnessed when he was staying with Diddy at what Diddy called the flavor camp, a boy his age should never have experienced.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something.
You know what I found really weird about this? Because what did she say the age was? Because I've seen this and heard this clip before. Because he said he's going to say something about the lifestyle or whatever. And then Howard Stern mentions women, and he was like, I didn't say that. Like as if there wasn't any women there. And he said, I didn't say that. Like saying like, yeah, it was some women there, But I forgot Usher said he was like super young. So how old were these women? You know?
Called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What
Yeah.
were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was.
At the time when he was moving in, Usher's mom admitted that she didn't know much about Diddy when Usher was first signed to LaFace Records, but she sent him to Diddy as a mentor, and Usher moved to New York to stay with him. What Usher's mom said was that when Usher hit puberty, he basically lost his voice, and record labels no longer wanted anything to do with him. And Diddy, who was with them when the record label wanted to drop him, said he would take him, and that Usher's mom just had to trust him. She thought that she was handing Usher to someone responsible, but according to
Man.
Usher, the things he witnessed were so wild that as a dad, he would never let his son attend Diddy's Flavor Camp, ever.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige, they didn't know nothing about this.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores?
That's crazy, man. Like to say his parents didn't know, like Diddy said, trust me, and the parents didn't know what. It's like, come on, man. You be like, you know what? He can go. He can go to your Flavor Camp. But guess what? I'm going to. You know? That's like wild and crazy, man. Like you heard in his voice, they didn't know about this.
Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
Usher was also asked about his experience at Puffy's Flavor Camp during an interview with Essence magazine, and he suggested once again that something did happen to him. First of all, he was very cool when asked about other things like how he would continue to pursue movie projects and, somewhere down the road, a new album and several business ventures. But according to the publication, when the talk turned to his time living with Diddy, Usher became surprisingly restrained. And he said, I want to save some ish for my book one day. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex. I mean, we are still waiting on this book, and since it's taken this long, whatever is in there must be pretty juicy. Regardless, based on the interactions we've seen online of Diddy and Usher, we know exactly what Usher was talking about. Like that one time he was telling Kevin Hart about waking up next to Usher. Honey, that was wild.
Yeah.
And just watch Usher's face when Diddy is talking.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, I mean, damn, pause, but like, that's how, I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit
Diddy saying pause is wild.
older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying?
With the
That's my
sunglasses.
brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And what the
There was also this other time when Diddy was complimenting Usher, and it really looked like he was checking him out and talking about Usher eating his cereal in his kitchen.
I was so mesmerized, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just so blown away by the stamina,
Why he standing like that? Usher. His legs. Oh, man.
the connection, being able to be connected, that along with so much. You have like so much, motherfuckers ain't doing all this shit. All those dance numbers and all that. Take your time with it. Breathe it in. Yeah, they yours when you go see this for you. This ain't for nobody else but you. You take your time, boy. I see you. Fly out doing Vegas. You were in the kitchen eating all my cereal. Man, you doing Vegas in a pink suit. God is the greatest. Won't he do it?
In addition, Usher is also one of the people who was mentioned in the lawsuit that Lil Rod filed against Diddy. Well, he wasn't actually mentioned by name, but the lawsuit talks about how Diddy specifically mentored Cuba Gooding Jr. and showed him his ways with the goal of passing him off to others. Lil Rod actually said that he was introduced to Cuba while on a yacht in January 2023, who proceeded to force himself on him until being forcibly pushed away. He also said that Diddy used his admiration of Stevie J to ease the fact that he's always been on the DL, and he even said that at one point, Diddy played him footage purported to show Stevie J hooking up with a white man. Lil Rod then alleged that Diddy told him he had slept with 2 other celebrities, and even though their names had been redacted, one of them was described at the footnote as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, while the other is said to have performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Based on that, followers concluded that one of the artists was Usher and the other one was Meek Mill. Speaking of lawsuits, Dawn Richards' bombshell lawsuit against Diddy also mentions Usher, as she claims Usher, Neo, and Jimmy Iovine witnessed him allegedly punch Cassie. In her lawsuit, it says, in the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Mr. Combs had frequent meetings with producer and then CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine. On one such occasion, Combs hosted a dinner at a West Hollywood, California restaurant, which Miss Richard and Miss Harper were required to attend. Among the guests at the dinner were celebrities like Neo and Usher, as well as Mr. Iovine. At the dinner, Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura had an argument. In front of the dinner guests, Mr. Combs hissed at Miss Ventura in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain, crying. Miss Clark escorted Miss Ventura out of the restaurant, and Mr. Combs remained and continued socializing with the dinner guests. So Usher didn't just go through it with Diddy, he also witnessed Diddy being vile with other people. Well, now word on the street is that the feds are also looking keenly into this Usher situation. Allegedly, they even have Usher's mom involved, with sources reporting that this mom also wants to set the record straight about a few things that happened with Diddy. One of them allegedly being that Diddy is actually responsible for Usher ending up in a hospital. Well, this issue about Usher going to the hospital because of Diddy is something that Gene Deal has also been open about, because he couldn't understand why Usher was singing Diddy's praises, yet a lot of people from back in the day know exactly what happened to him.
Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know.
Allegedly, because of the things Diddy had Usher doing, he turned Usher, and that's why we also hear all sorts of stories about him. For instance, there were reports some time back that claim that Usher found the time to have a good time in a gay club after some Broadway shows. According to someone who went to the club, everyone was in Usher's dressing room drinking champagne when someone came up with the idea that they should go to a club. That's when the source claimed the group went to a popular gay nightclub, saying, "We weren't looking for a gay club, it just happened. I mean, most of us were gay, so we just went to a place we knew." Apparently, allegedly, that's when the night began to heat up. As the source said, there were half-naked men everywhere, and Usher didn't seem to mind. Then, according to the source, Usher struck up a conversation with an older gentleman, and he even explained the situation, saying, Usher was talking up all in this guy's face. I thought the two of them were going to start kissing. At first, I couldn't believe my eyes, but then I thought, this is Chelsea, so anything goes. The source also said, about 20 minutes after we got there, a crowd started to form around Usher, and we decided that it was time to leave. We had a lot of fun though. Then when asked if Usher had a good time too, the source said, I know he did. It has also been said that allegedly, because of the things Diddy did to Usher, he also kind of did the same things to Justin Bieber when he started mentoring him. Maybe this is why Usher is not saying much, because he knows that if things come out about him and Diddy, they may also implicate him as well. I mean, when he was being sued for giving people an STD, these lawsuits were swept under the rug, and there were even reports that Usher paid $1 million for them to go away. So if things start coming up about him and Diddy, it might unearth some of his own skeletons, and maybe that is something Usher doesn't want. Well, it may be too late to play nice now, because the feds allegedly have all the receipts, including receipts of how Usher had to go to the hospital because of what Diddy did to him. Maybe Usher will finally reveal exactly what happened to him after this. But as we wait, let me know your thoughts on this Usher-Diddy situation in the comments section below.
Yeah, you know, they Jag, Gene Deal, they mentioned this along when they talked about like Justin Bieber. I wouldn't doubt that this stuff is true. It's just, you know, just wondering how Usher mother feels now, today, in this moment, with all this stuff coming out. You know, I will say about Usher though, is I don't recall him having a, you know how sometimes when things like this happen, you know, I never heard of Usher like being on drugs or kind of like really like wilding out, like fighting or just, you know, I feel like in the public eye, he's had somewhat of a good image. I mean, besides the whole like cheating and all that stuff, like with his confessions and all that, I'm more so talking about like, I don't recall him doing like anything illegal or getting ready to go to jail or just something like that, you know. But again, like I said, it's like the more you do, the more you get to do. And you know, Usher has that residency in Vegas, so do with it what you will. But like I said, I'm trying to inform myself about all this, man. But him, you know, supposedly deleting his tweets, you know, he said he got hacked. But I mean, people do get hacked. But if he did delete his tweets, it's not a good look at all. Comment below what you guys think. All right, peace out.